Okay.
All right, everybody. We got a couple people just popped in already. So this is Sixth Element of Hip Hop. I am Reno Noir, your host, and these are my two illustrious co-hosts, Stu Dog and Spadeonomics Comics, and this is DC Day. I believe it's like episode 10 or something like that. Yeah. Today we're gonna talk about the Speedster, man.
Yeah, DC. Y'all call it DC. I like to call it the DC Power Hour. Y'all call it DC Day, but you know.
DC Power Hour, huh?
DC
Yes,
Power
sir.
Hour.
Yes, sir. I put a smile on Spade's face when I said that. See, that has a nice ring to it. The DC Power Hour.
That remind me of watching wrestling back in the day. He had the WCW Power Hour.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It reminds me of telemarketing jobs because at the last hour of the night, that's Power Hour. You got to stand up and smile and dial.
Smile and dial.
Smile and dial, baby.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Salute Diamond Onyx in the building.
What is up, Diamond Onyx?
Salute Diamond Onyx.
Peace. I put me here at the bottom. That way, when I put these up, it don't cover your face, Spade.
Oh, it's cool. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like all this handsome is still gonna come through, so it's all good.
That's true. That's true. I'm sure. Yeah, man, we just hanging out waiting for the room to fill up a little bit. But yeah, we about to talk some DC goodness today. We talking about all of these guys here, the Speedsters, the Aries, the Max Mercuries, the Jesse Quicks, the Impulses, the Jay Garricks, you know, the lesser known folks, because everybody knows of, you know, a Flash, you know, the fastest man alive, the fastest man in DC. Or there are other speedsters that there
are plenty of others. There are plenty of others. Yeah,
many of others. And right, and some that aren't even quote unquote speedsters, like Superman or other folks that might be fast, but they're not like what you call a speedster.
Right.
You know. So we definitely gonna chop it up about those characters as well. And well,
we can up here. Yeah.
But
yeah,
you can start it off, Stu. You got the
let's start it off.
Take off with it, Stu, dog. Like
take off. All right. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm gonna enter the Speed Force. Okay, check it. I went and did some research, pulled out all my stops and my bonuses. I entered the Speed Force. Did a little here and there, and I can name 10 of the fastest people in the DC universe. Now, these are the people that are the top tier of fast, and everybody else is under that. So we have level fast, and then we have everybody else. So we got Jay Garrick at number 10, Light Ray at number 9. And only I put Light Ray because Light Ray crossed the universe in an instant at one time in his life. Green Lantern. Any Green Lantern. Because Green Lanterns can travel at post-light speed so they can patrol the universe faster. Godspeed, who almost outran the Flash. Wow. And everybody knows Godspeed was a big problem for Flash. Yep. Superman always pushes Flash to his limits. Black Racer. And the reason why I say Black Racer is because nobody can outrun death. And that is a natural known fact in the DC universe. 4 would be Professor Zoom, which is Eobard Thawne. He's a problem, and he's also AKA the Reverse Flash. He uses the negative Speed Force, which is the shirt that Spade has on right now.
Oh, it's a Flash shirt, just alternate, type but it's still a
Okay.
regular Flash shirt.
I thought that was from the negative because negative Speed Force is red. That's why I was, that's
Right.
why Yeah, so that's why I was like, okay, Speed has on a negative Speed Force shirt, but he's reverse, but he still got reverse Flash. And you have Zoom, which is Hunter Zolomon,
Mm-hmm.
and he can manipulate his speed and time. Now
Right.
remember there was an issue where he tried out the cosmic treadmill. It malfunctioned and it blew up and it altered his powers, which gave him the ability to manipulate speed and time with his powers. So that's what makes him a problem. Coming in number 2 is Barry Allen. Barry Allen is number 2.
The
And
Flash.
number 1, is Flash because there's a bunch of flashes. We got a bunch of different
Mm-hmm.
flashes. And number 1 is Wally West, aka Kid Flash, aka the Flash. Wally West is in DC universe titled the fastest man alive.
Now there's two Wally West. There's a black Wally West and a white Wally West, right?
No,
Correct.
no. On the
Yes, there
TV
is.
show and all of that. Yeah,
I mean, yes, there is.
wait. Let's
I
clear it
promise
up.
you it is. Look, right here.
No,
Right here.
listen. There is. Let's just clear it up. Let's clear it up. You're right.
This guy.
But for DC canon, we have Wally West, right? The black Wally West was Kid Flash. And there's some controversy with that because you know how DC let's take let's take Zoom.
You muddling the
Professor
answer,
Zoom.
dog.
I'm not muddling the answer. I'm just showing you how DC. I'm just saying how DC recycles characters. Okay, you got Thorn and you got Hunter Zolomon. They're both Zoom, right? They both pretty much show up as Zoom and do, but Thorn wants to be known as Reverse Flash, and Zoom, which is Hunter Zolomon, which they cleared up in early 2000, is Zoom. So you have Professor Zoom and you have Zoom.
We did that.
Right.
That show we talked about all of that.
So we have an African American Wally West. You're right, and we have a Caucasian Wally West. Now, the original Wally West is the Caucasian one. That is Wally West. That's the other. And you bring up the African American one.
Kid Flash is the
Kid
black
Flash
is
the black one. He's Kid Flash, right? But the Caucasian one was also known as Kid Flash too for a while. So that's what I'm saying the discrepancy is. So we don't want to confuse anybody. Who's Wally West is Wally West. Is the Caucasian one. The Kid Flash is the one, and he has a different suit too. He has a different suit. I think his is what, yellow and red instead of red and yellow. Yeah, so there's a difference between those two because that Wally West is nowhere near as fast as
white Wally West is a red suit. Black Wally West is the yellow suit.
My yellow suit, right? And he's nowhere near as fast. He's nowhere near as fast as the white Wally West.
That was my question. Which one was the faster? Was it the black one or the white one that's the fastest? The one that's number 1 on the list?
The original.
The original one is the fastest. Right. That's why I said don't even bring Kid Flash into this. He's not even on he's not even he's on the next tier of fast. But we talking about the fastest in the DC universe are the 10 that I just named. Arguably, hands down, you can't argue how fast they are because they're that fast.
I would definitely have to argue Green Lantern's point. Only reason being is because of his power battery running out. He has to charge it from time to time. So that's the only asterisk I would give about that. Now, with being said, being able to fly and patrol the universe, absolutely. We've seen him before on shows, the movie, cartoon, animated movies, seen how fast the Green Lantern can move. So, like, the only thing is, like, I wouldn't necessarily say the speed's not natural. It's just it comes from their power battery from their ring.
Right.
To travel, planet to planet or whatever.
Right. Which you can argue that, but they're still that fast. They're still fast.
Yeah, I mean,
they're fast. Yeah. It's just, like I said, to me, that's just the asterisk that would be on
asterisk. Or just putting them on.
Right.
Well, don't forget about JoJo. Her ring is not like a normal Green Lantern's ring. She doesn't need a power battery to charge her ring. It just she just can't use it.
Like for a couple of issues, man, she don't count right now.
She don't want it. Whoa. Whoa, Far Sector is one of the best comics out there right now, Spade. Come on. Gotta give
Far
it credit.
Sector is dope.
I ain't
Far
saying
Yeah,
it's
Sector.
Far
not.
Sector
I'm
is
just
dope.
saying like she only been around for, she hadn't been around that long. Like kind of like we getting off subject here, but kind of like John Kent, she ain't been around that long.
No,
She's
she
brand
hasn't.
new.
But
Now, I ain't saying
she is
not
brand
enough to
new.
make an impact, but not enough to have a history as it
To
pertains.
really compare and really
Well, she's a brand
measure
spanking
up.
right. She's only what, 2 years old, maybe at the most. So she hasn't been out long. She hasn't been out, and as a Green Lantern, her ring is powerful. Right? I can't say anything bad about it. And her ring is the way it is because she's so far out that she'll
Hmm.
never, yeah, she can't get the oil, recharge her battery or nothing like that. And a lot of them carry smaller batteries on them, but they still have to return the oil from time to time to recharge those batteries.
So where did she
To
rock at? Where's she at?
Dude, she's far out. Um,
So
she's at
she
the
not dealing
edge.
with Earth at all?
Mm-mm,
Not.
no, no.
I have a
She's
couple
so
couple Far Sector
she.
books, but I haven't read them to study up on where she's from. But like I said, as far as for going back to actual, to our subject, actual speed. Traditional Green Lantern's ring is pretty powerful and will give them that power of speed to get from one side of the cosmos to the other in the least amount of time.
Right. Now where's Superman on this list again?
Superman is at number
Seven,
6. I
six.
got him at number 6
Hmm.
because
So
you have issues where he raced the Flash, and he was he was keeping up with him. But we all know if Flash really wanted to, and Superman even said it, that Flash is faster than him.
now
I mean,
where
he's
now
got to be. He can't be the fastest man alive, and
This man
Superman
alive,
can
right?
beat
If he
right.
right,
Yeah,
but right,
yeah.
but that's
I
that's
gotta
always
give
been
it
my
to him.
problem with Superman and the Flash is Flash should be able to move. Like in the movie, when we watched the movie Justice League, and they showed Flash running, and then Superman was looking at him, and Flash was looking like, "What? He can see me?" Like
Yeah.
he should be able to move so fast that he can't. Superman shouldn't be able to see him like that. He
He
should be able
probably
to.
will when he gets seasoned, but I think he's still a new, he was still new in that movie. He really didn't get to the point where he was really a seasoned Barry Allen. I mean, he's definitely
Right.
not seasoned. You saw he was stumbling around, fumbling and stuttering
it.
and shit. It's not him.
It's
Yeah,
not him.
yeah. From that aspect, you're right, because that's like he doesn't even have the name the Flash in Justice League. So
Right.
No,
yeah, you
no, he
got a
doesn't.
point. There's just like he's technically not. He's just a guy that runs really, really fast.
Yeah, once
And
he
I know
really
a lot
gets
of people are like, like I said, with that statement, and I'm a biggest Superman fan as anybody. And I know there are times, of course, we all know from reading whatever comic book, depending on what the writer wants to convey,
yeah.
is what is going to happen in the book. So there have been times where, majority of the time, yes, Barry Allen has beaten Superman in a foot race, and there have been some times where Superman beat Flash in a foot race, just depending on the storyline. But overall, like most DC characters, I mean writers and heads say, Flash can't be the fastest man alive. Technically, if Superman could beat him in a
And
foot
Superman
race.
can beat him in a foot race, right? And I've
Yeah, that
always
that
said that.
always bothered me too because I always was like, well, that kind of just cancels Flash out. We don't need Flash then if Superman is faster than him. We don't need
Right.
that
Right,
character.
right.
But
Because Flash
yeah,
can
I
do
was
things
like,
that Superman, like even when he's running, he can do things like Superman. He can face the walls while he's
He
running.
phase through, exactly.
yeah, yeah, he
Right,
can
right. He
do
can
do
face.
shit like going through dimensions and portals and
Hmm.
time travel and all this crazy shit that he does inside that Speed Force. Um,
Right.
Now when you have these lists, right, with these 10 characters, and you're judging who's the fastest, once somebody hits above light speed or they're going, like at some point, like aren't a few of them all hitting that same speed? Like is who's really done a feat that no one else could do?
All of them has done something that no one else can do.
But Wally
Um,
West did something that none of them have been able to do.
right. Wally
What
West
what
is actually kind of like one with the Speed Force. So he
what was
is,
it that he did? Do you guys know? Do you guys know?
yeah, Flashpoint. Flashpoint is one of them. Like he went back in time and he
That was
lost his
Barry.
powers. Right. Yeah, he went right. He went back in time. He lost his power, but he got them back. And a lot of other speedsters have had a problem reconnecting with the Speed Force whenever they've lost their powers. Wally West has always been able to just reconnect somehow with the Speed Force, and he's never had a problem.
No, but I mean
So,
feats of speed. What did he do?
Like feats,
Like
like different things that he
oh,
did, like
how
how
fast did he go?
like for instance how Kyle Rayner became like one of the most powerful Green Lanterns. He became Ion, so he transcended being a
Yeah,
Green Lantern. What is it like that
he
Wally
had
West
all
did kind
the
of
range.
transcended being a Flash?
Right. Yeah. What did he like? How fast did he go? You know what I mean? Like Flash, when he hits a certain speed, he's going back in time or some shit, or going into the future. He's going so fast, right?
he's went back in time. He's
Right.
went forward in time. Um, he's he's went back in time and saved people.
Spade, you
He went back.
consulting the encyclopedia?
I am.
Yeah, check out
Yeah,
Wally West. See if it says.
yeah,
You
he's
know
went
you
back
work
in.
out to, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's went back in time and saved people. He's went back, changed a couple of things. He's able to cover 7,000 miles in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
He can accelerate far beyond light speed to the point of entering the Speed Force dimension. He is faster than both Superman and Barry Allen. He's beaten them both in separate races. I mean, those are extraordinary feats right there. That I can, if you want something extraordinary, that's extraordinary right there. I mean, 7,000 miles in 6 seconds. Come on, Superman can't even do that.
Right.
I mean, he's
Eobard
got.
Thawne. Eobard Thawne said Barry Allen time traveled to the future, and it's going to happen in Flash, the season 8 of the Flash, because the conclusion of Armageddon, the 5-episode special event, saw Barry and Reverse Flash, his most consistent enemy, face off in an unexpected way. The Flash wrapped up Dawn's storyline for the time being, and in doing so, revealed the villain's origin story and just when exactly his hatred for Barry Allen began. But rather than using speed to battle each other, Reverse Flash returned to the present to ask his nemesis to save him before he disappears from the timeline entirely, and caught in a moral dilemma about whether to let Thawne die when the time solidifies or keep him alive but take his speed. Team Flash are split. In the throes of discussion and decision making, the Flash meets with Thawne to get to the root of why he's harbored such rage and hatred for Barry and for so long. But Thawne and the Flash have a long history, one that's laden with animosity, but it's the first time in the Arrowverse series run that fans learn what really caused Reverse Flash to make Barry Allen's life miserable. In season 8, episode 5, Thawne reveals that Barry will time travel to the future again, and there's a good reason for this and why it will happen at some point during Flash season 8. But their Reverse Flash's history is a bit muddled due to all the time traveling that's taken place on the Flash. When the yellow suited speedster ran back to the past in an attempt to kill Barry in season 1, he spent the next 14 years in a timeline he didn't belong in. While his goal back then was to return to his timeline, Thawne never clarified where he came from or where he was born. Since then, he's hopped around time to Barry's youth, the 2014 particle accelerator explosion, and the 2049. However, the Flash season 8 episode 5 finally revealed exactly when in the timeline Reverse Flash originally existed before traveling back and wreaking havoc. In a confrontation with Barry, Thawne says he lived 2 centuries from now. So he's 2 centuries into the future, and this suggests the villainous speedster originally hails from the 23rd century, though the exact year remains unknown. This is a bit different than in the Flash comics, where Reverse Flash is born in the 25th century and travels through time from there. In the Flash season 1, he's asked his nemesis why he set out to destroy his life, and Thawne said it's all because he hated the Flash, nothing more, nothing less. To be sure, it was a poor and vague response, yet it was somehow enough to continue fueling Reverse Flash's diabolical plans. But every hero needs a villain, and Thawne was certainly up to the task. However, when Barry poses the same question in the Flash season 8, the response is far more lengthy. The reason Eobard Thawne hates the Flash so much is because the Scarlet Speedster traveled to the 23rd century on a case and dazzled the audience with his speed, later saving the crowd just as Thawne had finally achieved the speed he'd long desired. So the Flash basically and unintentionally stole Reverse Flash's greatest moment, and someone Thawne previously admired and strived to be like had humiliated him in front of everyone. It's pretty wild that Thawne still resents Barry for this after so long, but it's the villain's pettiness and rage, nonsensical as it is, that continues driving him to run like the Flash's life, no matter what, to ruin the Flash's life, no matter what. But the final few episodes of The Flash season 7 introduced Iris time sickness, which saw her become unstable due to phasing in and out of temporal planes. Dion, the Still Force, managed to stabilize her for the time being, but the Arrowverse show is bound to reveal why it's affecting Iris to begin with. Back in season 6, Nash Wells detected Eternium and an interdimensional element on Iris. Not much was made out of the information at the time, but she can now phase in and out of timelines, and it could mean that she ends up in the 23rd century later on in The Flash season 8. In the comics, Iris is originally from the future, and she is sent back by her biological parents to live in the past. It's possible The Flash will adapt parts of that storyline, but rather change it so Iris is from the future. Her time sickness could simply send her to Thawne's timeline, instigating his and the Flash's meetup.
Well, that's the Hollywood version.
That's
And
the Hollywood version.
yeah, that's the
That is
Hollywood version.
definitely
And then the Hollywood version is just too much.
TV
Like,
version.
right, like
Right.
nobody cared. Nobody ever cared why Thawne hated the Flash. We just knew he hated him. And
Yeah.
even in the comics, he stated different reasons in the comics here and there over the years why he hates Flash. But his sole goal is to destroy the Flash by any
Right.
means necessary.
It's
And
good though. I think it's good though to have a reason.
now,
One of
one
the
reason that
reasons
he
why
did,
he
one of
hated
the
him
reasons,
was because he tried to be the Flash in the
defeat
future,
the Flash, yes,
Right.
and he
and
couldn't.
he ended
Yes,
up failing. It's
and he
like
didn't feel it. That's
he was
true.
trying to be heroic. He didn't save somebody, and the crowd ended up turning on him. So he was like, okay, well, he embraced wrestling terminology. He embraced being a heel. So at that point, he was like, all right, well, if y'all gonna hate me, I'm gonna give you a reason to hate me. So he turned villainous, went back
Yes,
in time to kill Barry Allen, and ended up killing his mother instead. That was like one version of it. A lot of times, like and Stu knows this too. A lot of times in the comic books, it was kind of like a Joe Chill type person that killed Barry's mom instead of Reverse Flash.
instead of worse Flash.
Like
Yes,
a random.
it's true. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because he's also mad at Flash too because Flash has a connection with the Speed Force that nobody else has, and due to his connection with the Speed Force like kind of gravitates towards Wally West, like literally,
Right.
like he, like you wanted to know what feat made him so special to be number one
Yes.
is because being a Speed Force conduit, it radically accelerates all aspects of Barry's being, and the Speed Force since Wally has like he's gotten much stronger. His connection with the Speed Force has gotten stronger over time, whereas in most other people it's either gotten weaker or they don't have a connection. And like I said before, if they become disconnected with it, it's either hard for them to get reconnected with it or they never get connected with it. With Barry, he's been disconnected, reconnected, and then the Speed Force itself strengthened the connection with him so that he can't be disconnected from it. And if he does, it's only for a little bit of time, and then he gets his powers back, and then they build up and his speed goes up after that. So he has a
Right.
raw connection to the Speed Force. He cannot be cut off from the Speed Force no matter what. And the Speed Force made sure that it made that connection with him in order to keep that going. So that's the one thing that makes Wally West so special is his connection to the Speed Force. Period. Point blank. In order to be a speedster, you have to have some type of connection with it, whether it be the negative Speed Force or the positive Speed Force. You have to have a connection with it.
Yeah, he's right. You know, that pretty much is what makes Wally stand out is just his connection to the Speed Force. And in essence, he's able to, I wouldn't necessarily say manipulate it, but he can use it to different advantages that Barry and even Barry's grandson, Bart, and other
But
species
yeah,
are not able to do.
to do right.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, he
But
also has
whatever, you know.
superhuman reflexes. Yeah, superhuman reflexes. superhuman stamina, he has superhuman agility, superhuman strength,
But
speed force,
also,
or all of that
if
comes from the speed force.
yeah, but also if you read the original Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover from like the
Mhm.
80s and 90s, it talks about Barry Allen dying, which Barry
Yes,
didn't die. He just got absorbed into the speed.
absorbed into the speed force. Yes,
Nobody could find him. And see, the DC Comics left him out of the comics for 23 of our years. So two
years.
decades,
Yes,
3 years, Wally West was the Flash. In the
right.
Justice League cartoon, Justice League Unlimited, Wally West is the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
Yeah. Did you find
Yeah,
anything in
yeah.
the encyclopedia about Wally West?
I found a little bit, not much. They mostly talk about what all talk about Barry, but says one of them is following Barry Allen's apparent demise during Crisis on Infinite Earths. Wally West took on the Flash identity. He uncovered the secret of the Speed Force and raced alongside other speedsters such as Jay Garrick, Impulse, and Jesse Quick. It took a while for the new hero to feel worthy of his mentor's name, and when Wally disappeared, Barry Allen became the Flash until he was killed by the Rogues, which I was like, he killed by the Rogues, but they brought him back. Okay,
Mm.
cool.
Wow. Man, I do
He can
not have
also now
one
Reno. He can also
comic.
now Reno. He can also Wally West can also use the speed force to absorb speed and momentum from anyone or anything. He has
Mm.
demonstrated this by slowing down an explosion and even taught Kid Flash to do this. Now, there was an episode on a TV show
Mm.
where a nuclear bomb went off, and then he stopped
Yep.
time, and then he found the solution, and he even brought other people in there with him to do it, to find a solution, and he stopped the
Wow.
bomb from exploding. But he kept watching it explode. Now, he was moving so fast that the explosion, it was still happening, but it was just happening at a slower pace. And so he would come back and it would be bigger. And he had to explain to one of the guys that he brought in there with him, like, look, the explosion's still happening. I'm just moving so fast that it's slowed down. That it's just moving at
To
that
us,
slow
it's
enough
yeah.
speed. Right. To you, right. To
But
them,
what
it's
is
already happened.
but how did they stop it?
I forget what they did, man. It was a couple years ago. I seen the episode. I forget how
But
they
did
actually
he
stopped
actually
it.
go back in time before it happened?
No, he didn't
No, he
go back
couldn't go
in
back in
time.
time. He couldn't go back in
It's like
time.
they took because Barry explained it in season 5 where he called it flash time. He was able to like manipulate and slow down reality, but he could still move. Everybody is like what Stu was saying. We're still moving at our normal speed to us, but he slowed it down so much where it's like he doesn't necessarily have to speed through. So it's more or less of a, I would say, mental connection to the Speed Force, something that they tapped into. It's a new power that, or at least on the show, that they gave the Flashes to do for effect of the show. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
if you watch season 5, the villain is the Thinker, and he
Yes.
frames Barry for a crime Barry did not commit, but he ends up going to jail. So when they're doing the trial of Barry Allen, Barry slows down time to talk to Iris, and she's like, "How are you doing this?" He said, "Through the Speed Force, I slowed down time. I call it flash time." And she's
Right.
looking around and says, "Everybody else is still
It's still
moving."
right. Because in the
Yeah,
comics they call it time stopping. In the
right.
comics it's
Mm-hmm.
called time stopping. Yeah.
He said, but to them, they're still moving, but to us, they're standing still.
Right.
Right.
So he was able
Right.
to just, like, I guess, mentally project and slow down time
Yeah. He can.
itself
Yeah.
in
In the
order to
comics.
do.
Yeah. In the comics he calls it. He can stop the flow of time. So he just stops it. Remember, like in the comics, his heart would beat too fast, or he would get nervous, and he would stop it inadvertently, and he didn't know how he was doing it. So then he
Hmm.
learned how to control it. Once he learned how to control it, he was able to just do it whenever he wanted. So he would use time stopping. Now, when he does time stopping, you're right. Everything else is moving at regular speed, but to him, it's moving, but it's moving so slow. Even when you play the Injustice game, when you pick Flash, whoever you pick, let's say if you just pick Superman and you pick Flash, he punches Superman in the face and he's moving so slow. And then you see Flash, he's looking, and he's like, and he's moving
Mm-hmm.
slow because he hit him so fast. It's just like, even in the Justice League
Mm-hmm.
game that they have coming out, the Suicide Squad, And the guy shoots at him and he dodges the bullet. He said, "What are you gonna do? Mail it to me?" So
Right.
and that's how fast he moves. Like he literally dodged the
Yeah.
bullet. He was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
He was like, "What are you gonna mail?" He said, "Mail it
One
next time." Man.
one of my favorite episodes from the Justice League cartoon was when they encountered the Justice Lords, and they have them all trapped in like Flash and Batman are in like handcuffs or whatever. And Flash looks at Batman and says, "You figured a way out?" He says, Batman says, "Nope." He's like, "Why not?" "Can't do it." He said, "Can't or won't?" And Batman says, "Won't or it can't because it's me. So how do I anticipate everything that I'm going to do? I already know what I'm going to do." So Flash is
Right,
like, somebody got to try to find a way out of here. So he ends up speeding his heartbeat up so much where it looks like he flatlined.
Ah.
And the Justice Lord Batman runs in to check on him because their Flash has already been killed. So he
Right.
runs in to check on him because like you can't lose another Flash. He undoes one of his cuffs and Flash just knocks the hell out of him.
Right.
I was like,
Very
damn,
heavy.
that's pretty good. You know, he can speed up or slow down his heartbeat. I'm
Yeah.
like, man,
That's
that's a
crazy.
hell of a power to have.
It's very interesting, man. Like the whole science behind it. For those who, I mean, we assume that people watching this, some of you are definitely coming from the hip hop world, maybe learning about comics for the first time. So, this is what DC has to say. Three men have held the title of the fastest man alive: Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, and Wally West. Each of them redefined the word hero. The mysterious power known as the Speed Force is an energy field that has, over the centuries, granted incredible powers to a velocity of certain heroes. The most famous of there is the Flash, also known as the fastest man alive. Ever since the days of World War II, there has been a man clad in red who can run at impossible speeds using his power to save lives and defend those who cannot defend themselves, all between the ticks of a second. In the 1940s, college student Jay Garrick acquired his super speed abilities in a random lab accident and became the first DC superhero to go by the name of the Flash. Years later, Jay was succeeded by police scientist Barry Allen until Barry's former kid partner, Wally West, took up the mantle at a time when Barry was considered dead. But when Barry returned, he became the Flash once again. All three generations of speedsters have been cornerstone members of both of the Justice Society and the Justice League, and we'll explain that in a second. The Flash has mastery over not just speed but time itself, and he's often used his powers to travel through different eras and even into other dimensions. Although the Flash has not always been fast enough to outrun a personal tragedy when it has come for him, he always does his best to prevent the same from happening to the people of Central City and Keystone City. In doing so, he's earned himself a spot among the greatest superheroes in the DC universe, that DC universe has ever known. So, guys, what is the difference? I've always wondered this between Justice Society and Justice League.
There's not a whole lot of difference. The
Is it
Justice
just a different name
Society,
for a different era?
basically,
Like it used to
pretty
be
much. Yeah,
Society, now it's
yeah,
League.
pretty much. Yep, yep. That's exactly
the
what it is.
Justice Society were it's the same thing. They were heroes that came together, banded together, and they were in the what you say like 40s, World
Right,
War One, World War Two
Golden
era.
World
era.
War II. Yeah.
So they were a society of heroes, I guess, because it was just them. Some of them had power, some of them didn't.
Right.
But so that's how Justice Society came about. Now, the Justice League came later, of course, in timeline wise, but in DC lore, in DC continuity, Justice League was first, and then JSA was second.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
But
Which
but
always baffled me. Which always
but if
baffled me.
if you're going to go continuity wise, the JSA came before the Justice
King
League.
of Justice League. Yeah.
But like,
Right.
yeah, it happened like that. So they were when they redid, I guess did like Christ on Infinite Earths or all the other multiversal Earths that was, the Justice Society was on like the Justice League of a different Earth at one
Yes.
point in time.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the only way they could kind of separate it and kind of write
Hmm.
over their mistake. Because you have a Green Lantern, but he uses magic
Right,
instead of the light. And then you have
right.
a Superman. You have a Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
You got a Batman. I mean, so you even have a Hawkman because a lot of times in JLA I don't know. Depending on what they're doing and what's going on, you don't see Hawkman much. You don't see Hawkman. They either have Hawkman or they have Hawkwoman. But
You
it's
don't.
very rare you
They
have
kind of
them.
transpose them because a lot of times you might see one of them in the JSA and a lot of times another one in the JLA.
In JLA,
Um,
yep.
so
They've
it's
never
like
been consistent with them.
it's just kind of depending on what they want to do for that era.
Right,
Right. And who's
right,
writing
right,
and who's the writer. And who's the writer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
right, right.
And that's a big thing. But you
Guys, I
always have
want
a
to do
Flash.
a mail call. I got something, but can you guys give me 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Rock
Yeah,
out, do
sure.
whatever, like talk everybody.
me and Stu got this.
You got this. I'll be back
Yeah.
as soon as I can. I have a little family emergency. I'll be right back.
All right. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
I'm like you. Yeah, I'm like you. That always baffled me why they would put the JLA before the JSA. I was like, huh? I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
Yeah,
isn't that
it's
supposed to
like
be the other way
I
around?
know they were created first, and it's like it's funny having what they say a golden age Flash and a silver age Flash and modern day or whatever.
Modern day,
Like
yep.
I always like that old school picture of Flash of Two Earths where you had Barry and Jay racing to save somebody coming past the brick wall and stuff. I was like, that's one of the comic books I was looking for the most. I was like, I just dig the cover. They referenced it in I think season 2 of The Flash.
Hmm.
When they were rescuing Patty Spivot, she was like Flash, and he looks up, both of them look up coming, and then you see him run too. I was like, ah man, that's the iconic cover right there. That's pretty dope.
I like that, yeah. Because even going back to Thorn, when we're talking about Thorn, like a lot of people don't realize Flash did a lot
Oh yeah.
between the time he disappeared or died, because we know he dies, and the time that they couldn't find him. So like Thorn even says it in the future. There's a Flash museum,
Hmm.
and he didn't like. He was like, yo, you got a whole museum in the future, like dog, like a whole museum. Like nobody had a museum,
Hmm.
and the city that he's from, he did a lot for it, man. He did a lot for the city, you know. But Flash is also one of the main characters of the DC universe,
Oh
and he
yeah.
doesn't get the credit. Right, he doesn't get the credit to me that he should, for
I would
being
say
that.
he does now. I would say probably about 10, maybe 15 years ago or earlier or more. Probably not, but I would say now I believe he does because I know a lot of people that I've talked to, like, who's your favorite character? Your favorite DC character. A lot of them named the Flash, or even over Batman. And they're
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, what is it about the Flash that you like? And they're like, oh man, I like his powers. I like his run. That how he utilizes them. Some of them are even go as deep as his rose gallery, and I was like, yeah, he do got a pretty cool rose gallery. I will admit that. And the third one is they like him being, especially with Barry being a forensic scientist in the police department. He's like he's able to solve crimes, using science as well as using his superpower.
Right. Which is dope. That's a dope idea. Like when they
Mm-hmm.
came up with that, I was like, man, that's kind of dope. Godspeed. He was a problem for a while. He was a problem for a while.
Godspeed.
What's your
I
take
would
on
say
Godspeed?
I like Godspeed, man. He's one of my favorite Flash villains. And
Really?
yeah, the first time I read him or read about him, and he might exist before. The first time that I read about him was in Rebirth when DC did Rebirth in 2016,
Mm.
and I subscribed to the Flash comic then, and I started reading. I was like, yo, man, like Godspeed, like, hey, this guy's pretty cool. And it was dope because he started out like Reverse Flash, wanting to be a hero. And he started kind of helping Flash, throughout the city. Well, something happened, basically like a speed storm, and everybody got in Central City, everybody got Flash powers. So they could do
Right.
everything Flash could do. And Godspeed is like, all right, well, I'm going to help you uh, get everybody back to normal because everybody's body is not going to be able to take, this fast motion stuff. It could be potentially dangerous for people. And Barry was like, I agree. So they set out and did it, and they, achieved their goal. And then when it was time for August Hart to give up his powers, he was like, I'm not giving up mine. I told you I would help everybody, help you get everybody else back to normal. I'm not giving them up.
Right.
And Barry looks at him like, man, you got to. And he was like, no, I don't. So then they get into it and get to fight. And then you see the villainous turn of Augustus Hart. And I was like, that was really well written. And
Yeah.
Godspeed became basically my favorite Flash villain because of that. And I'm like, I like his costume, the white and the gold. You know,
Yeah, that's
it's
dope.
different.
Yeah, that's dope with the gloves and the gold gloves
Yeah.
and the gold lightning. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah, I
And the
think that's
full
dope.
cowl that he has, I dug that. I was like, oh man, like that's just awesome. So I was reading that, and then I was like, yo, man, I hope they do this for the show sometime. And then a couple of seasons later, boom, they had him on the show. I was like, yeah. And I'm like, so now to me, the only thing about the show they don't do right, they need to make him like they did Reverse Flash and even Zoom. He needs to be like a mainstay villain of the year, not just
Right,
some,
not just that they had to
yeah,
get rid of. Yeah, because
yeah,
he's a reoccurring character. Now
right.
his powers, I don't think they did a good job of representing on the TV show
Hmm.
because Godspeed, like he has the ability to take away your speed
Right.
and add it to his. Um, he also can create a clone of himself and
Yep.
divide the speed between the two.
Yep.
Yeah. So they never addressed that on the TV show. They never. I mean, I watched that whole series. I was like, wait, what happened? Like, whoa, like, can we get some real Godspeed up in here? I
They
mean, can we?
they kind of they did the whole thing where he steals the powers,
Right.
and
They did right, but
he
not the
did.
clone thing.
They did the clone last season.
They did. They did.
They
But it
did.
was kind of. It was. I don't know. It just. It wasn't like in the comic. It was.
That's
It was
true.
like a bunch of.
Uh,
Yeah. It
That's
wasn't like
true.
in
It
the.
definitely
That's
was
what I was
not like
looking
in the
for. Right.
comic.
Nah, it wasn't. It was because you know what it is, Spade, with today when we do stuff like people stop using their imaginations and like these new writers, these younger writers, everything has to be explained. Everything has to make like nobody gives a damn. Like that's why we have magic. That's why we have magic because magic can't be explained. Like it's just that's why it's called magic because it don't work normally.
You know,
So
people are so jaded, man. Now, like society is so jaded. It's like you don't want to have, you don't want to enjoy things, man. I was when I was watching uh Flash Armageddon Wednesday morning when I got off work. And I got on Twitter when I got up from work that morning. I was like, 'cause I rewatched it. I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. And they're talking about the when Iris was talking to Green Arrow's daughter, about the no kill rule. She was saying something about, well, your dad wouldn't do this, blah blah. Yes, he has killed, but he, basically changed his ways. And people were jumping all down the throat, like, how dare you like Queen on this stupid show? And blah. I'm like, wait a minute, why do you like one show over the other, one character over the other? And they have crossed over. If it wasn't for Arrow, there wouldn't be no Flash. If it wasn't for
right,
Smallville, there wouldn't be no Arrow. You wouldn't have an Arrowverse as we know it. And it's just like, she wasn't, Iris wasn't denigrating Oliver's name or his memory. She was trying to spark something into Mia. And everybody was like jumping on the case about it. I'm just like, what's with all this hate, man? It's like, dang, all right, if you don't like the show, just don't freaking watch it. That's just my
that's
point.
true. Right,
Like
that's true.
quit trying to shoot it down for everybody else who does like it or enjoy it. I'm like, a lot of people don't like the CW shows. That's fine. I personally enjoy them.
I do
You know,
too.
it
I do
gives
too.
me an escape
I
from
don't
reality.
like Arrow. I'm with you. I don't really dig Arrow. I
I
only
love
watch it
Arrow.
when they do. Only when they do the crossovers is the only time I watch it. But I'm like
Mm-hmm.
you said, I don't complain about it. I just don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I barely watch it. I only watch it if I have to. I don't watch it because I just feel that a lot of the characters in the Arrowverse are just misrepresented. That just turns me off. It's the
I
only reason
got
why I don't watch it. Yeah, it's the only reason why I don't watch it.
I got
Mr. Terrific. Yeah, Mr. Terrific. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like that's not. I'm like, look, if you're gonna do it, just do it. So that's what turns me off about it. Everybody else likes it. I don't. Hey, listen, I don't shoot them down for it.
Yeah,
But yeah, people love Arrow. They love that show. I just
I did.
can't. I just can't do it.
I was one of them that did because it was like the I was kind of glad they got away from the premise of what they wanted to do, which they always wanted to keep it grounded in like reality and like in our world.
Right.
That quickly went out the window in season 2 when they introduced Barry Allen and he got struck by lightning.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, y'all was just like, nah, we ain't gonna be able to keep this up. Like that was and it ended up being a great thing because now you had Flash that spun off from it, and it became one of the most popular shows. Like I talked to a bunch of people that are like, hey, this is basically the only show I watch on CW. All right, cool. How do you like it? I love it. Like that. That's what's. And my sister and I, we were talking today, and I was just like, I was telling her we were talking about Armageddon, and I was telling her about John Wesley Shipp, the Flash from the '90s show.
That show was great.
Man, that show was ahead of its time.
Yes, it was. I like that show.
She was like, I never got a chance to watch it. I said it was only one season. I thought it was more, but it was only one season. But I remember being a kid, man. I'm like, I wouldn't even go to football games on Friday night because I wanted to be at home watching the Flash.
Watching the Flash, yeah, I did too. I was like, yo, Flash is on. Back then, we didn't have Hulu.
Nope.
They had the ability to watch it on demand. If you didn't catch that joint when it came on, you was hit.
Well, look, what was the one thing we had? VCR.
VCR, right? And then you had to wait for it to come out on, or you could tape it and then you could watch the reruns. Yeah, that was great, man. I was like, man, I set the timer, hit it, come home.
And so I was telling her about one episode. She said, what was some of the villains on it? I said he didn't really have a whole lot from his rogues gallery, but he had the trickster who was Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Yep. I remember he did a return on the show as the trickster.
Yep.
With his new show. Yeah. With his Joker voice. He did his Joker voice.
Yep. I was like, yo, man. So I'm like, I remember watching that and I was like, oh man. And I found the original Flash. I found it at Best Buy one time for like $10, I believe. I was like, shit, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. So I bought it. And when I went home and watched it, I got off of work, I went home and watched it. I was like, oh man, I feel like this 9-year-old kid again, man. I'm like, man, this show was awesome. And I was like, I told my sister, it don't have the technology to grab it. I said, but nobody cared because now you can see this dude, the red streak run by and just like, yo, it's the Flash. And people would like reenact that excitement on the show. It's like, yo, it's the Flash. And I said, she was like, well, who I was on? I said, one episode they did was like an alternate Flash. She was like, what do you mean? I said, he wasn't a reverse Flash. He wasn't, whatever. Somebody tried to clone the Flash and they used an embryo. So it was a baby, but they sped up his growth. I'm like, but he still had a childlike mind. He was just in his grown body and he wore a blue suit instead of a red suit. What? I was like, yeah. I said, that's how much that show impacted me. I still remember that, man.
I couldn't remember none of it. And I own them, Spade. I have them on DVD. And I bought them like you did. I bought them for cheap. I think I bought them when Circuit City closed down or something like that. And I never watched them. I just never watched them yet. But I'm gonna sit down and check them out.
Like I said, if you get a chance to sit down and watch the 90s Flash TV show, it's like, man, binge watch that mother.
The 90s Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s Flash was awesome. I loved it.
Remember something in the 80s they did one? Like 88, 89 or something?
Around 89, 90. Because I know I was like in I want to say about 5th grade, 5th, 6th grade, 4th, 5th, 6th grade when that show came out.
Yeah, me too. How old are you now, Spade?
42, same age as you.
Okay, yeah, I'm 42. Yeah, so we was 89. We was in 5th grade.
Yep.
And 90 was 6th grade.
Wow, man. Whew. Man, I was getting ready to graduate high school, bro.
Yeah.
I was telling Stu, I said, man, we would watch that show, man, watch the 90s Flash. I was like, I wouldn't even go to football games, man, because I was like, hey, I want to sit home and watch the Flash.
Right. And that's the one where he had that, like, it was a cloth suit, but it was looked like it was padded like thick.
It was like velvet. It was like velvet.
Yeah.
Looked like it was like velvet, but it was dope.
Cool. That was
Yeah,
great. Yeah, that
I
was a
thought I
great
was like,
show. I
yeah, yeah.
remember that.
I was like, man, that joint. It just looked at. I don't know. I had never, to be honest with you, I never seen anything like that.
Right.
I was just like, yeah, I was like, and then when it came out, it blew my mind of how much they kind of tried to stick to the source material
Hmm.
when it came, and we got to like see him use his powers. Like it wasn't
Right.
like most TV shows where we know, like what they'll do a Batman show, but he'll run around for 20 minutes as Bruce Wayne, and then he turns into Batman. And
Yep.
he's like, well, why is the show called Batman if I
Right.
don't get to see Batman
Right.
and I see the actor running around as Bruce Wayne the whole time? So I loved it, man. Loved it. But the
Hell yeah.
CW
That was
shows, I
dope.
love them too. I
I
love
can't stand them.
Arrow. I mean, I don't love Arrow. I like DC Legends, but DC Legends starting to get kind of out there for
I would have ended Legends before I ended any other series. I'm like, I would have continued
me.
Black Lightning. I probably would have continued Arrow or so, but Legends was just like, all right, it is, yeah. And I like the point when they put Kid Flash on this show, but they didn't keep him on there long
They
enough.
didn't
And
keep
it's
him
like,
on there, right?
dude, come on, like, and I'm really wanting because I just finished up season 6 of the Flash. I didn't get to see all of it because, of course, because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everything was shortened, so I'm like, all right, I bought it and watched it. And I was like, oh man, Kid Flash made an appearance in one episode this season because Barry, like, went from Crisis, had to do something with the Speed Force and end up inadvertently killing it, so he lost his powers. And
Yep.
Kid Flash lost his. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, y'all need to bring him back. I'm like, I want Kid Flash back on the show.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, I did too.
he was dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was dope. So,
Yep.
Spade, what about Black Racer?
Man. It would be real hard to I guess real hard to say who would be the fastest because, like you said, Black Racer is death, and
Nobody outruns death.
nobody outruns death. But I don't know. I'm ooh, that's kind of hard to do, man. It's like, yeah, nobody outruns death, but can you outrun death?
You got
It's
running
like
for a while, but you ain't gonna outrun it forever.
Well,
could
remember
one of
remember
us?
the episode with remember the episode with Thorn? Was it Thorn? Yeah, was it
Yeah,
Thorn or Zoom? Where he
it
wanted
was
to steal
Thorn.
the card. It was Thorn. He wanted to steal the card from Amanda Wallace
Mm-hmm.
because Thomas Wayne shot him, caught him off guard, and shot him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And before he could die, he just started running, and he kept
Right.
moving. He had to keep moving, and Death started chasing him,
Yep.
and he was like, "Look, I gotta go," and he just kept running. He would run and come back and run, but he couldn't stay in one spot too long, or he was going to get caught. But they had now. What didn't they have the Black Racer on the
They had him
Flash
on the
TV
show.
series? Yeah.
He was on the Flash and he was on DC Legends because they used
Okay.
the guy that the original actor for uh the original Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, instead of Harrison Wells' face. But they used him that season, and he would have to keep running or leave time remnants of himself somewhere else. So the Black Racer would sense him. And it's like
Yes.
every time he would be in, like you said, every time he would be in one place for too long, here comes a Black Race. And I was like, yo, man, they made him look sick. I mean, half his mask missing, he all
Yeah, he was
zombified.
on. Zombie like yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I was like, dang, I'm like, that dude gave me nightmares.
Damn. That's dope. Yo, shout out to my man Multiverse Comics Parade for this makeshift
What up, multiverse?
Gemini mailer he just sent me. So, but let me bust out these comics I
Yeah,
just
you
got
bust
from
that
my
out.
homie
Bust
right
that
there.
out.
What you got there,
Yeah,
man?
bust
We
that out.
got
What you got? Yeah,
a
yeah.
business.
Bust it
Yeah, you
out.
know
What
how
we
we
get?
get down.
Little bit right here. So this is my man from my man Multiverse Comics Parade, and we got some Punisher Max, always good. Punisher
All right.
Max. We got the
That's dope.
Cyclops and Phoenix story with the Mr. Sinister cover and Apocalypse.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
cool.
dope. Yeah, that's my joint right there. We got some nice Morbius number 5 right here. One of the introducing the first appearance of the Basilisk. right there. And we got the Secret Defenders #1, the red foil with Wolverine on the cover. That's my guy.
Dude, I like that. I had that
Yeah, I
issue
like
once.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. If I might even still have it.
I don't know if I
I gotta
still have
check.
it.
Yeah, I
you
gotta
might.
check my archives.
Oh, this is dope. So this is Gambit and Bishop had their own joint.
I remember that.
Sons of the Atom. Yeah, Gambit and Bishop bi-weekly. And this is part 4 of 6. But man, what a crazy cover. That's dope.
Oh
Rock
man.
the Gambit and Bishop hard. And this is the Infinity Crusade #1, the gold foil joint. I needed that to
I
complete
had
That is
that.
dope.
I think I
That
sold
is
that
dope.
too.
the series.
But we was big on gold. We was big on foil covers back in the day, huh?
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
foils was the
90s. Yeah,
shit
that
in the
was our
90s.
thing.
Word up. And
There's some
then
awesome
Darker
comics,
Image.
man.
Word. I don't know. Is this a freebie? Sam Keith, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's some image heavy hitters, bro. Sam Keith, Jim Lee, and Rob Liefeld on one comic, Darker Image. You got the Max right there. So yeah, that's a nice classical.
I
That's a
love
nice
the
cover.
Max, man. I love
Yeah.
that. When that was on MTV, man, that just blew me away. The whole thing, the
Yeah.
Max.
And then I also grabbed these. This is an indie joint, but man, it's so clearly homaging, I guess, or inspired by both Superman and Batman. Check that out. It's called Knighted. So there's the Batman theme, and this dude's got a
Oh
red and
yeah.
red cape with the sort of blue joint, but he's also dark. So it's like Superman Batman thing. Heroes never die, but they crossed out never. So it just says heroes die.
Mm.
So that is from
Still,
Upshot AWA, but it is definitely a DC homage. And then we got Robin, the Joker Wild 2, #1 in that phenomenal, my favorite Batman comic style with the super long, the
oh, with
Super
the
long
ears.
ears on the
yeah,
cow.
ears are
Yeah.
longer than his head. Yeah, super long with the dope cape. You know what I mean? And I just got the little foil joint right there, little foil hollow joint. And these are ill. Got these from my homeboy right here, Task Force
Task
Z.
Force Z.
You got
That is
Bane
dope.
up there, and that's #1. And this is #2. I love that cover. Bane is one of my favorite characters. Period. Definitely one of the favorite Batman villains. And he looking
Mm.
brutal right there.
Nah.
And in the next movies for all you writers, Hollywood people out there that like to ruin Batman villains, please
Yeah,
stop making Bane a Caucasian male from America. He is Spanish.
he is Spanish. Thank you.
Yes, he is Spanish. He is of Spanish Latin descent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is the reason for the luchador mask,
Yes.
wrestling, and the
Right.
wrestling outfit, the unitard
Yes.
or the unitard with the tank top.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, that all screams wrestling to me. And
Hell yeah.
but he has an accent. He speaks Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
He just never does that in any movie.
Not
But
in the
they have
live action, man.
no, not in the live action movies. The cartoons they represent him. They represent him
Yeah.
properly. But
That would be
as
a
far as
dope.
the
That would
movies,
be a dope T-shirt.
that would be.
Just the whole comic on the T-shirt.
Don't we know somebody make T-shirts that can do that for us? Right?
What we do, his name is Multiverse Comics Parade. That's him right there.
Multiverse comics. There you go.
And you can
Yeah,
look it up.
yeah.
Send him an image, anything you want, and he'll put it on the shirt for you.
Nice.
We need to send him that image.
Oh
Get
yeah.
those shirts.
Yeah, you do need that on the shirt, bro.
Yeah, we need to get those. Yeah, we can get those made.
We also got to get you some Flash shirts too.
Yeah, we gotta hook you
man,
up,
that's
man.
as close as I could come to a
What
Flash.
size you wear?
I got no DC XL, extra
Small.
large.
Look like he about a small.
This
He
guy,
ain't no small shit. He wear the
extra large,
same size I wear, extra large. We probably around the
extra
same
large.
size height and shit.
Probably. Well, I'm 5'11",
Okay, well you a little bit taller than me.
5'10", maybe. Yeah.
Bro, I wear XLs too, so I'm like, yeah. Stu, got a question for you, bro.
Oh, you were like
What's up?
6'1", 6'2", Spade.
Shit, no, I'm 5'9".
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the same.
So I guess I'm the tallest out of the group.
Well, you 6'3", ain't you?
73 and a half inches. Yes, sir.
How many feet is that?
Actually, no,
What are
70.
we,
I'm lying.
British?
72 and a half inches. I'm lying.
How many
72 and a half
How many
inches.
fucking meters are you? How many
Whoa,
centimeters?
whoa. First of all, my man, nobody uses the standard measure system anymore. Everybody uses the metric system. So
Exactly.
everybody
How
out
many
there knows
centimeters?
exactly how. Everybody knows how tall 72 and a half inches.
72 and a half centimeters?
Inches. I'm 72 and a half inches.
Inches is standard, not metric.
I know, man. I know.
We want
Oh
metric.
my
I know.
goodness.
I'm
Now, how
6'1".
many
I'm
feet?
six
You're
one and a half.
6'1".
I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1"
Okay,
and a half.
okay.
Yeah, I'm 6'1" and a half.
I thought you. I knew you was tall though. He said I can do that shirt. Spade got on with the HTV foil. Let me see the shirt. Spade. There it is. That's glitter on there, isn't it? Spade or little jewels or something?
Nah, man, it's like it's a raised image that they just kind of put dots on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's like that's like regular t-shirt stuff. The shiny stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hilarious. Slade Wilson said that's dope. Yeah.
But Stu, I was going to ask you, man, what are your thoughts on the Flash movie?
I hope it's dope. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Get ready for the
I remember
NBA.
back in 20. I want to say 2014. I think it was when they announced the Flash movie and all the movies that DC was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're almost in 2022, and I can't believe we're here. I was excited. Like I was like, yo. And then they switched up halfway through and they said they were gonna the Cyborg was supposed to get his own movie, Flash. And then they said we're gonna combine the two. And that went out the window. So now they're doing Flashpoint. I'm excited for it. You know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they stick to the content and give us a good movie. But for right now, Spider-Man No Way Home is actually my hope for getting a great Flash movie because once they see what they do,
Yeah.
it'll keep them, let's just stick to it and
Well,
get
I
these other
tell you,
actors that play Batman and everything else to really, get in here and get this done.
yeah. No, I didn't
But
want
I am
to
excited.
go into
I am
this today
excited,
because
Spade. I'm excited, Spade.
yeah. But what about the Flash movie that wasn't there already one?
No, there
No.
wasn't.
Oh,
They
he's
they
just in the Justice League and shit.
uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
all right. So what about okay, because was he in Batman Superman?
Yeah.
Flash? No.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was in the nightmare scene
Yes, he
when he went
was.
back to Warren
Yes, he
Bruce.
was. That's right. Yes, he was. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
was the
because that's
movie
when we
that was
first got Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was introduced in that. That's when we first
right?
got Wonder Woman.
Right.
She came out, which was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my man said the dopest animated Flash was Flashpoint Paradox. Almost had to drop me a tear on that one. Yo, it was dope.
It
Though.
was good.
Flashpoint
Yeah.
Paradox was hard.
Flashpoint was good. It was
Yeah,
hard. Yeah.
that's up there with like Red Hood is dope.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Red Hood was hard
a lot
too.
of crazy
Yeah.
dope.
Crisis on
DC.
Infinite Earths was dope. That was probably the dopest one they made. To me, that was the best one I've ever seen. Out of all of them. Yeah.
Flashpoint was awesome.
Yeah,
I
Flashpoint was awesome.
just really, I ain't gonna lie. I don't have high hopes for the movie.
Nah,
I
Yeah.
don't. I'm
I'm
like,
excited. I'm excited, but I like I said, I just hope. I hope they could just. I don't know. I'm excited. I just don't want to be that.
it's like any comic book movie. If you could take the Hollywood out of it, I think you would have some great movies. I understand you're gonna have
Yeah.
some nuances, and you might want to put some stuff in here and there, and that's fine. But to totally change the base of it, it's like, nah, man, you don't go away from the basics. You don't go away from the basis to tell the story. And I'm like, Flashpoint, that might be good. I know they want to, reset. WB want to reset the DC EU, so to speak.
Right.
And I'm like, there ain't nothing wrong with it per se, except for y'all keep going away from, the base storyline.
Right.
It's like, quit
That's true.
doing it.
That's true.
Yeah, they do. They got the content, like we always say, man. They got the content. They just always stray from it, and that's where the complaints always come in. But like Stu was saying, and yeah, I wasn't gonna do this on DC Day, but Spider-Man No Way Home, we're gonna talk about it Monday. Man, listen, it's so good that you can bet this formula is gonna be recreated. There's no way it's gonna break. It's breaking records already. It was so good, bro. I can't even. It's easily, hands down, the best Spider-Man movie ever. Period. No question. And it's up there in maybe easily the top 3 of all the MCU movies. Some people say it's the best. I probably put it on maybe second best, like Guardians, and then this, man. Like it's that good. And I realize, and like I said, I don't want to. I don't know. Spoiler alert, everybody! If you haven't seen, you got to see it, right?
Right. No.
Okay.
All
Right.
No, we not.
I ain't
We
seen
know.
it yet, but you know how
Yeah, I
I
haven't
am.
seen it yet.
I dig
I mean,
spoilers. I know everybody else don't. I'm like, they ain't
right.
didn't
I
turn
mean,
the shit off. But I
Monday
want
we're
to get
doing a spoiler. Monday we're doing a spoiler.
only rich people seen it, so we know Reno saw it.
You can see it free right now on bootleg. You can go watch the bootleg right now.
Is it a good bootleg? I mean, is it a good bootleg?
It's not a bad bootleg. It's definitely watchable.
I need something good, man. I can't. Listen, I'm used to watching 4K and having good sound. My eyes and ears can't take this the straight bootleg sound. I need good sound in that picture, or I just turn it off. I get annoyed. Right. Yeah, that's just me. That's just me. Yeah, but if I can get it in 720p, I'll even watch it in that. But that's the lowest my eyes can take it. My eyes can't go no lower.
Yeah, it's so good, man. It's phenomenal. It's gonna they're gonna definitely, like I said, you know how they do, they recreate, whenever something works, what do? They just do it again and again. So I definitely see this formula being used in definitely like a Flash movie or any kind of multiverse movie. I mean, the Multiverse of Madness is coming next, right? And this movie leads directly into the Multiverse of Madness. It affects the Multiverse of Madness. It almost is probably what makes the Multiverse of Madness happen. This movie. So and Doctor Strange is all in it. And it definitely the after credit scene is Doctor Strange It's definitely the catalyst. I'll say that much. But yeah, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna definitely talk about it and break it down on Monday. For sure.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
Where Diamond Onyx definitely needs some sort of honorary sixth element something, because she is here supporting every show. She in the chat every single
we can do
day.
that. We gotta do something special for Diamond Onyx. We gotta send Diamond Onyx something and try to get Diamond Onyx on the show.
I always told her, man, you're always welcome, Diamond. You're always welcome to come on the show. Anytime you're ready.
Matter of fact, we can do a special. We can do a Diamond Onyx show. It's all about Diamond Onyx.
Diamond Onyx special.
There you go.
Yeah, Diamond Onyx special, dedicated to Diamond Onyx.
Yeah, because she had she's got a couple of comics that she wants to be. She still has yet to buy a comic, so we got to send her a comic. We got to send her some books.
Yeah, we're gonna send her a comic. We're gonna send her something dope. Something slag. We'll send her something slag.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we got to do that for sure. Let's see what else. She says she'll surface soon.
All right.
Yeah, she wants that Vitals comic. That Vitals comic, I don't even know where you could get it. If you could get, I don't know. It might be on eBay, but it was a very limited. They only made like a couple. It's from a hospital.
Right, I've seen it in
that
Waze.
a hospital put out. Yeah.
I'll go on Waze and check it out. Or Diamond Onyx. Go on your Facebook and type in Wade's Comics. They have a Facebook page, and then ask them, do they have it? If they don't have it, they can get it, which most likely they probably have it, and they can mail it to you. But Wade's Comic Madness on Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. And Multiverse.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Multiverse definitely got to be on the show, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
multiverse was
we
definitely.
can hop on, bro. Have you seen Spider-Man yet, bro? Because you
I
can
haven't seen it.
hop
No, I
on.
haven't seen it.
I know. Well, I don't know, man. We got to talk
I'm
about it
not.
Monday. Is there
Oh,
any
we're
way
gonna be
you
able
can
to
see
talk
it?
about it. I mean, I watched it. Yeah. Oh, it's a way I can see it.
You can watch
We
it.
got it.
Oh, there's an
I got it.
HD version online. It ain't even bootleg. I forgot. Someone uploaded it. Matter of fact, Thursday.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
According to my man Opti Comics, one of the madman of comics, according to him, he's got the an HD version. It was Thursday. He was like taking screenshots and showing us. So it's official. I don't know how to get it, but Spade, I'm sure you do. You know how to get all them torrents and all of that. I don't know if it's a torrent or how you do it. He said something
it's
about
be a torrent.
yeah, he says something about the Plex. You know, Plex.
Oh, it was on a Plex server. Oh, somebody had one.
Plex server, something like that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that after this.
The multiverse, yeah,
My
man.
wife
We'll
might
get you.
know.
If you want to
She's
come
the
on
tech
Monday, bro.
genius of the family.
Yeah. Well, then I'll make sure y'all can. I'll try to get you. Yeah, he said. Yeah, there's a there's an HD version online. Also, KODI.
Oh, also Cody, yeah.
Cody,
Oh, if it's
yeah.
an HD version online, yeah, I will be watching Into the Spider-Verse.
No way home. No way home.
I mean, I'm sorry. No way home because they do have a new Into the Spider-Verse coming, which looks dope. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. I was just watching the trailer for that.
That's gonna be
I
ill.
can't wait to see that either. Yeah, that's gonna be super ill.
Right.
Sweet.
All right, man. Let's all right, let's I know Stu, you got to go fight crime and all of that. So let's call it a night. That was a great show, gentlemen. Remember, tonight, guys, if you had a spot on the raffle and on Instagram, Madman of Comics, big raffle, we're giving away a short box full of comics, signed books, like Virgin variants, keys, like nice books. Scotty Young's, the whole thing, about 130 comics in a short box, plus 3 slab comics and 3 slab stands to the grand prize winner. Second place gonna get a couple slabs and some raw comics and some extras. Third place, fourth place gonna get a slab. So everybody's getting slabs. There's gonna be 4 winners. They're gonna spin the wheel 4 times. 11:30 p.m. tonight on 6th_element_comics on Instagram. We're doing the raffle. So 11:30 p.m. tonight. Be there and win some stuff. Stu, be safe out there. We got thank you, Diamond.
We'll do multiverse. Yeah,
Good
thank
night,
you, multiverse. Thank you, Diamond.
Peace out.
Peace out.
All right, multiverse.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all Monday.
Hey, Stu, make sure you power up your ring before you go out.
Already got it powered up.
My man.
Already got it powered.